Ladies and gentlemen, let's say it, yeah, this is we are going to enter a new mortgage deal. Of course, we closed the last mortgage deals, and also to deal with Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, which is the East African Community. Dialogue also a new deals on its peoples. Okay, supporting the housings, and this is majorly the people who are abroad, and the USA, Canada, and then in Africa, the world, and where they reside. Okay, those mortgage deals, they are supposed to handle, support those people, the Sudanese who reside abroad in Ireland. Okay, so let's say Sudanese, they are not totally a terrorist. Okay, and they are not really poor, let's say, but there are also people who are working and they are at work. So for which a respect is really due for that purpose. So if you look on the new deals that we close, this is this new mortgage deals which we just close up. Okay, it's a mortgage deals, and if you look there, those are mortgages. Okay, mortgages, the home address which we just struck down here, this is mortgages. Okay, the address of the mortgages, and then the unit number, and then the residential unit numbers, and then we come to this closed deal. You can see here this deal here is closed now. We finish these sections and we are now certified here. Okay, we did that deal, and then we are going to open a new deal, and those deals normal come with this one here. We're gonna have a look on those areas, and then which will handle also is this, also these mortgages. Okay, for the people who are abroad. Okay, so the section is not yet touched, and then they are not yet returned. So there are new mortgage deals. Okay, for those areas that we will be tackling. So we have our agendas and others, and also can tell you that is also this. Okay, these departments, and then our agendas. Okay, we have our agendas which we will be representing here. Okay, so if we tackle, we have a few areas to adjust, and then you can read those messages by yourself. And if you see here, this is totally information so that we see from yesterday. We said I will be opposition leader if Kenya agree to add South Sudan in missions to fight addition in the DRC, which this fight here, if they are supporting South Sudan, let South Sudan be recognized as a countries, and then let them fight there to keep that countries and to keep that border block, so that the market price will go up. People want to be able to find them and recognize them, and then they take them. They are keeping them there as a M23, which they are looking for, but the confusion is built overbuilt, and then for which we want this case here, these people, this case here to be removed away from Sudan case. So is this the only name we can remove here? So we will keep our Sudan border with Uganda, with the DRC, with the Central Africa, Ethiopia, Kenya, and then Libya and the rest of the countries, but we don't want the rest of areas to be recognized. Okay, so if it's this one, this is the only name which they bring up confusing us there around our concentrations areas. So you can read the rest of the information by yourself, and then we have adjusted issues such as this one here came up here, and then you can see here the case was here built around here. This case was here handling the same case with these South Sudanese people, and then how they are handling the ID people here on this particular area and these particular regions. And if you see here, this is a statement from those Sudanese inland. Okay, they write it themselves, and then also here the information was also here narrated by this one, by the late this one, John Grant as a rebel to Sudan wife, and then the wife is here also narrated the statements, and then claiming to their communities, which is these Dingas and Bor, Dinga and Nenwer as a terrorist there. You can see there the information is channeling, and then the information was of course secretarial by the ID people of that particular area, which they claimed they want it back as the Sudan. That's why if you look 100% our work is to ensure, yes, we combat, okay, we combat, we fight hard, and we combat this region as a Sudan. This is the new Sudan we have there on plan, and then this is the DRC, of course. This is Uganda, Kenya, and this is Ethiopia, Central Africa there, and then we have Libya there, which is there in African countries, and then to be recognized. This is our hard work here and what we are really working here. And if we talk of those mortgages, these are the mortgages which we just briefly analyzed there. Okay, the mortgages, area of the mortgages. So let's hear from those statements from the presidents of Uganda and the Sudan.
Some of those strategic issues like land. How is land managed? Who should control land? Because that can be a big social problem. Should it be the local government or the central government? Here, I advise these Ugandans here, please, let the government look after the land of the government, like where there are offices, where there are schools, and so on. But the land for agriculture can be managed by local governments under the supervision of the center. That's how we handled it here. Because it was going to be another big issue for us here. So I would advise that you could do, once you deal with the ideology, maybe you also look at that, some of those issues. We are witnessing so many conflicts in our region. And these conflicts, it needs visionary leaders like you, and also pressing and implementing certain strategies to solve out and to find solutions for all what is running on our region through the IGAD organization. We believe that you are head of states. You are going to put an end to what is running in our region, especially developing the cooperation in economical, maintaining stability and security, peace to the region. This is what we are coming for, sir. And in terms of Sudan and Sudan situation, I'm going to assure you that in terms of economy, since our last 25th October, we are going better and better.
What do home service pros love about Jobber? Job.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. So, as we said, Sudan is not freaking out, and of course, economical, as they said, we are doing better because we are not really 100% rebels, and we are not 100% terrorists, and we are 100% even not really poor. To be claimed for that because someone which we are seeing, this is their name, and then which they added as a first name to addition to Sudan. and to claim that they are they're opposing the decision of Sudan because people claimed, yeah, for many years they work as a rebel in these countries for over decades and decades. Okay, they terrorized the country, of course, for decades and decades. And then they took this name as an opportunity to challenge the decision of Sudan, and then embarking that they should gain a method of running it as a countries, and of which they owned also currency, and those currencies very poor. Secondly, they are terrorists, and thirdly, they are rebels, and fourthly, they are very poor to Uganda, very poor to the north side of Sudan and the south side of Sudan. Therefore, they are very destructive. And the element one is DRC war. They are involved there. They have their name there. If they are not a terrorist, they shouldn't be putting their name. So they will be working as a peacekeeper. But if a Kenyan use them, and we named it here on the policy here, is stop Kenyan killed nobody in the DRC. Because if they do so, we will turn to Kenyan as a poor administrations in these regards. So why did the different president of Uganda challenge different Kenya decisions of different of support to different to South Sudan, other than supporting the real Sudan effort, and if Sudan have representatives that are really there working and they're hustling hard and they're making money and there is a money there, why are they looking only for people that are very poor to be hired and leaving the rich who are employers to all the employees? Therefore, they should be handling the right copyright other than misleading the whole nation and the whole criteria at the same time. So that's why is a regard. You see, if Sudan, if we look on the real this issue here on the map, okay, we said for you the map. They said we said for you the map. This map here, if you look, judge this map here. If this work here is done by professional and by artists, which are the government, because the government work this map for centuries, for since 1812, and then to date, they will be working this case more than what I did myself. I may be more rebel. The government look more responsible because they work there in the field. Their work will look more reasonable. This is the areas they should challenge, and then fixing these areas if they look fake little bit, and then they should make it original look of Sudan to East African communities, and then there let the work continues other than forcing the other regions to collapse and collapse and collapse. So we know this area is right there, is already Sudan is where is not even mapped but is mapped. If you see there, everything is there map, but we know East Africa is three regions which has been recognized there like this. That's why having all to these areas added will bring all to the nations, African nation, to be added. That's why we are saying the guy just knock himself does this much here, cut this whole map here, cut it short, and then claiming he is more clever than all the EAC communities. So for this, we went and we challenged their decisions. So that's why we have to, as an employers at workplace, and then our decisions, we should go and be able to see if they can really stop those kind of nonsenses publications, so that they leave the East African communities or our governments, the Sudan governments, to write the right copyright policies, which has been in set many years ago in 1812 to be copyright there in the memos, I think. So that could be the right directions here. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, the statement has been categorized well and listened well, and then follow the right suits, and then follow the right policies, and then stick to where you really belongs. So don't just beat around the bush and then cause troubles so that you can kill more people or you can fool more people. It's not really it. Being a leader doesn't mean you are now nominated and then you become now an a person that you only go there and then cause a trouble to that person and then bring them by force to your policy. No. Being a leader, you have to show the example till the one that you can preach, you are preaching, church level preaching, till you turn their hand and then till they become you. That is when a leader is there. You have your leadership example to provide, and then that's how the leadership example will may be provided and may be listened and may be taken into considerations. Otherwise, nobody considered beyond that. If you want it by force, you can go and kill people by weapon. That is not really a leadership is. But when they are using a weapon, that is when they are tracing and investigating the results. And if you're investigating the results, what do the statement of Sudan says here in the memos? We said we are not very poor, we are very rich. And if we are very rich, you mess with us, and we trust our copyright is good, is better than what the guy is just manipulating around. That is we may say it. Shall this kind of opposition really fit our benefit, our communities? We may feel even very challenged. We may not feel like we are really working. We are not feeling like we are really leading. We are not providing the example needed. We should be providing the example needed. That is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture and at this moment, thereby me, Wayne Hassan Tazizeton.